I've been in career services or career development now for almost 15 years. So I've been working in areas of resume writing, doing job search assistance, career counseling, career coaching, along with workshops and seminars and so forth. So it started initially as a resume writer, and then it evolved into career development and career counseling. And it really evolved after 2006 once I got my master's in career development. Since about August of 2007, I've been the instructor for the job series workshops. And initially it consisted of 4 classes, and we're now up to 5. And what we do, we talk about the cycle of career development. So the first class is, what's my perfect job? So in there we explore what are your skill sets, what are your values, what are you looking for, and what it is that you have to offer to an employer. So we do some card sort assessments. We talk about your skills, what skills do you have to offer. We talk about along with where do you do research, where can you look to find the perfect job. Not where the student is not going to find the perfect job in that 2-hour class, but they're going to have the tools to put them on the path to finding the right type of work and to do more exploration and research into that. So that's what's my perfect job. The next class is where we talk about creating the perfect job search plan. So now you have an idea of what it is that you have to offer to an employer. You also have an idea about what they're looking for because you've done some research in the type of positions that are available that coincide with the skill sets that you have. The resume class, which it started as just a resume class, and we changed it to resume and cover letters. So now the students, we talk about resumes, developing the perfect resume, developing the right cover letter. Next class is where we talk about powerful interview skills. A lot of folks haven't done interviewing in a number of years. The class that we just had this past Monday, one of the students, she's been working for 17 years, and now she's looking for new work, and she hasn't interviewed in that time, 20 years or so, she said. So for her, it was really, what do I do? What do I talk about? What am I telling the employer about myself? You're telling them what skills you have. You're telling them the value that you bring to them. You're telling them what you've done in that 17+ year career. And you're making them see you in the position it is that they're looking for now. So how do you put your face to that position for that particular company? Research. You have to do your research. In my class, all the students know, particularly the ones that come to all of them, they always say, Ms. Jenkins, research. We know research is your word. And it is, because you need to know what it is that you're looking for. You just can't say, I'm going to do anything. So in the interviewing class, we really talk about how do you present yourself in an interview? How do you make the employer see you in that position with the responses that you give, and also with the questions that you ask them? You should go in there and interview that employer as well too, not just for them to talk to you about what they want, but you need to express to them, this is what I'm looking for as well too, and how do we fit together? A networking class. With the economy the way that it is, students and people looking for jobs, whomever it may be, needs to know how to network. They need to get out there, they need to talk to people, they need to let people know that I'm looking for a job, that I'm looking for work, that I've been laid off, that I'm a career changer, whatever it is that they're experiencing. But the only way that you can get the word out there is to broadcast it. So it's not just the email, it's not just a monster.com and those types of things, but it's really putting yourself out in events, letting people know, former colleagues, coworkers, family members, whoever it may be, joining professional organizations. That's something that I stress to a lot of my students, is that you definitely need to join some organization affiliated with the field that you want to work in. The students that we have coming to the job series classes come from everywhere, basically. There are some that come from the corporate world. There are those that are students of BMCC, that are alumni of BMCC that come to the class, and just those that saw the classes in the catalog and they want to take the class because of whatever they're dealing with in their job search. So it varies. Some of them do look at other classes and other programs within the continuing education department that they want to explore further. But a lot of them are coming because they haven't been in the workforce for a while. They haven't interviewed in a long time. They've never written a resume, or the last time they've written their resume was 20 years ago, or however long it was. The students that come to the class, for the most part, are prepared and understand that's part of the process. What I found when it comes to the social networking piece, in the networking class, we particularly talk about that area. There are some that initially thought a Facebook or a MySpace were one and the same, and they didn't see how you can use it differently. And then really that's the social side of it. But what I explained to them is you have LinkedIn and some of the other professional networking sites, which are great opportunities for them to be able to meet others, to talk to people in their field, to gather information, to do informational interviews and those types of things. So there are some that, because they are just 20 years later now back in the looking for a job and so forth, it's intimidating for them, that process. But but they do recognize that that's part of it. One of the things we did in the last networking class that we had last month is that I actually pulled up on the computer LinkedIn, went into my page for them so they can kind of see and get a little bit more comfortable with it and what it looks like, and that is not an intimidating process. It's very easy to register and so forth. And as you start exploring and linking up with people that are from previous jobs or your current jobs, they found it a little less intimidating. And they thought, oh, I can give this a try. I'm sitting home anyway, why not? Give it a try. So I found that there are some that are intimidated by the process, and there's others that are already on it, and they know exactly how to use it and have been using it to their benefit. Working with the students and the ones that come into the class, particularly with the way that the economy is and how it can be intimidating for them, I do reassure them. I let them know that what you've been doing in your career, what you've been doing in your search, keep doing those types of things. But what I found in a lot of the students that come, the biggest two classes that we find are the What's My Perfect Job, the first class in the series, and the resume writing class. Those are the two classes that have the most participants that we found, that I've found in the last 2 years I've been teaching the class. When I'm in the classes, the one thing that I stress the most to the students, to all of my students, to everyone that I work with when it comes to career development, is to first be clear about what it is that you have to offer. What skill sets do you bring to any type of employer, whatever it is? And then my favorite word, it goes back to research. What I find from everyone that I've always worked with, be it just writing a resume to career counseling session, whatever it is, people are not clear about what they want to do. And before you can just send out a resume and begin exploring and looking and doing all these other different things, you need to be clear about what is it that I want to do, and do I have that? What are my skill sets? What are those areas that I need to improve? It's this self-evaluation. We don't do enough of that for ourselves. We don't take a hard look at what we have to offer, what we don't have to offer. We don't talk to people and ask them, what do you think are my best skill sets? What do you see? Someone that you know will give you constructive criticism about yourself to explore you better. A lot of times we'll just look at positions and say, I think I can do that. You know what, let me go ahead and apply. And what happens is you're applying to 100 jobs, no one calls you, and you become discouraged. You're discouraged because you're applying to jobs that you didn't really target. You didn't really take a chance to look at and explore and see what it is that they have to offer. So the hardest thing that I find for folks to do is to take a hard look at themselves and what it is they have to offer. In the classes, I'll always say to them, tell me 3 skills you bring. Just tell me 3 skills off the top of your head. And the looks I get, everyone wants to hide. Can we take a break? Can I get some water? Why don't you know 3 skills that you have? You've been working all this time. You've been going to school. You've paid all this money to go to school, and you don't know what you have to offer to someone. So if I'm interviewing you right now and I say to you, well, what do you bring to my organization or to my company? And you can't tell me what it is that you bring to us, why would I hire you? So it all goes back to self-evaluation. That's the first piece of the process. And once that exploration is done, you can begin to explore the various opportunities and jobs, because now you can begin to match up your skill sets with what they're looking for. And if you're missing something that you see that they're all requiring, then you know that has to be part of my plan of action. I need to go back, take this certification class, whatever it may be, in order to get myself to do those things. So that's the part that I think is the hardest part for most folks, is to figure out what is it that I have to offer, and be proud of that, and not to feel as if, sometimes we want to hide our successes or hide the things that we've done that have been very successful or what we've accomplished in our former jobs. But those are things you need to highlight and let people see.